Hey everyone, well we all know it's a really tough time with lockdown, particularly here in Fairfield. A tough time for people who can't see their loved ones, can't work, worried about the impact of COVID on them and their family. And we're all thinking about our physical health, but we need to think about our mental health as well. I've asked the boss of Lifeline Australia, John Brogden, to come out to Fairfield today to have a quick talk to us about mental health and to cover a few things. So John, thanks for coming here today.
Look, thanks Chris, and thanks for the invitation to be here, not just as a personal friend over 20 years or more, but also as a great friend of Lifeline. This is really important. In fact, it couldn't be more important. We've got a very strong focus, as is appropriate, on our physical health, but people are doing it tough in terms of mental health. These are extraordinary times. We all hoped this time last year we wouldn't be back here again. We all got to Christmas, January, and we were beginning to see the way through, light at the end of the tunnel, but we're back where we were before. And what we're finding at Lifeline, you might be finding this yourself, Chris, with friends and family and obviously the people of your community, and that is this one's tougher than last time. I think there are a few reasons for that. The first one is it is spreading much more easily and quicker. And the second thing is, as I said before, we all thought we were through this. We thought we'd got to the other end and we wouldn't have to be with masks and the like again. But like you, I want to thank the people who are listening to the health orders, who are doing the right thing, even if it's hard for them, and acknowledge that a lot of people, of course, aren't getting income through the door, aren't being able to pay the rent or put food on the table, so it's tough. It's very tough. They're adding extra pressures to people's mental health. So right now, Chris, it's okay not to be okay. And that's really important. It's okay if you're not feeling okay. It's okay if you're not yourself. Don't think you're weak. Don't think you're failing. Don't be macho if you're a man about it. You know, it's an important time.
Absolutely. So what are some other tips, John, for people coping, like exercise, diet?
Yeah.
Well, just a few tips for people who it's just tempting just to sit at home and
Do
we're
nothing.
told to stay home, right?
Yes.
So that's important, but it's also important to do some other things as well.
Yeah, look, it is important. And you talk about exercise. I don't love that word exercise because I think a lot of people think, well, I'm not going to run around the block. I'm not going to work up a sweat. I think you can walk. Just get out, get some of this sun on your face, get a bit of fresh air, whatever it might be. Get down to the park, go around the block. You don't have to exert yourself too much. Just change your environment for as little as an hour. It makes a real difference. Get out from behind the screen, whether it's your computer or video conferences or, you know, laptops, watching Netflix or on your phone. Have a break. It's really important. Don't lie in bed all day. Don't sit on your bum all day. Get out and do something. Mix it up a bit. And keeping a routine's important when you do that. And that's as simple as your 3 meals a day. Those sorts of things. So that's really important. Routine's very important. Getting out, exercise, or just getting some fresh air. That's really important. This is not a good time to drink too much or eat too much, and I know a lot of people might be tempted to do that, but please look after yourself physically as well as mentally when it comes to what you're consuming. And here's an interesting one for the journos, Chris. Don't absorb too much bad news. There's plenty of bad news available. Please don't spend all day sitting on the bad news, making yourself feel worse. We're all hoping for some certainty as soon as possible. People need human contact, they need certainty, and people want to know what this looks like. So it is uncertain times, and people yearn, we all want certainty, we haven't got that yet. So I think it's important to do that. The other point I want to make, Chris, is this is a two-way street. If you're feeling okay, why don't you pick up the phone and ring a friend? So you might have a friend, an old auntie, whatever it might be, somebody who you know lives alone, somebody who maybe you know doesn't have a lot of friends or family, who will be doing it really tough right now. So for those people, pick up the phone, yell over the back fence, very old-fashioned, whatever it might be, yell over the balcony to a friend in your block of units, whatever it might be. These things can make a difference because for some people, sadly, Chris, the only human voice they hear all day that's not radio or TV or a download could be Lifeline, could be them being Lifeline.
Really important point, I think, John. Think about a neighbour who might be living alone. You don't think much about them normally, but are they doing all right at the moment? Might be elderly.
Yep.
You know, they don't want to get out and go to the shops, so they're not doing that. So that might mean that they're not doing okay.
Yes.
So just as you said, a 2-minute shout out over the fence or a 1-minute phone call can make all the difference.
It makes all the difference, and don't underestimate the difference it can make. But Chris, the other message is for people doing it really tough. Lifeline's there 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
7 days a week. We want to hear you. We want to listen. We're there to help. And it's anonymous. We don't care who you are. We don't care what the situation is.
Don't have to give your name.
No, we just want to get you through that tough time, and that's what we've been doing for 58 years. So 13, 11, 14.
13, 11, 14.
13, 11, 14.
What are the opening hours, John?
24 hours, 7 days a
24/7.
week. We're there whenever you need us and whenever you need our help.
Well, thank you to John, the boss of Lifeline. Thank you also to anybody who's a Lifeline volunteer who might be watching this, because they're putting themselves in the front line as well. So
Good
thanks to
idea.
all those Lifeline volunteers who are there 24/7 taking the calls. We have to make sure they're all right as well. They're okay. But guys, it's a tough time. As John said, there's a lot of things we can do to help each other through this. So remember, if you need to talk to somebody, call Lifeline and look out for our friends and neighbours. Stay safe, Fairfield.